Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
So we are going to start in a seated position. And if you're working from YouTube later at home, but if you're working from YouTube later, just have a yoga block or like a stack of books, something that you'll be able to use as a nice sturdy surface. So, but for right now, just for a second, get cozy in your seat, scoot your butt way back, let your back settle against your chair, let your body just find the most comfortable seated position that you can. Allow your eyes to close down or soften your gaze. And then taking the time here you'll just allow your body to readjust as needed. Don't try to focus so much on any particular point of your body physically, but just allow it to readjust as needed. We're just going to focus on breathing in through the nose and seeing if we can feel the movement of breath coming down into the throat. So breathe in through your nose, through both nostrils, or just one, depending if you're congested. But the preferred method is to breathe through the nose and then see if you can feel breath going down into your throat. And then see if you can stay with that awareness of breath in the throat. Take one hand, whichever hand is the most free, and just gently touch around the front of your neck and your throat. And then with as soft of a handhold as you can find, eyes closed down and come back to the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Take one more breath. And then release the hand that's in front of the throat. See if you can switch your other hand, but other hand maybe reaches around to the back of your neck and throat, which may be require just a little bit more effort to find a gentle handhold. And then once you've got a pretty good handhold, notice any efforting places, allow them to be just what they are. Notice the back of your neck, eyes closed down, take a nice gentle breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath. And then both hands are going to gently wrap around the side of the neck or throat. So see if you can find as soft and gentle of a handhold as possible, hands wrapping around the side of the neck. And then for me, my fingers wrap around the back of the neck and my elbows want to get heavy. So as long as you can sustain that position and let your elbows get heavy, that's cool. But if it feels better to keep a slight engagement so that the elbows don't drop, so you're not gripping too much in the back of the neck. So specifically what we don't want to have happen is if you let your drop, that it pulls the whole neck and head forward. So find a position that still allows you to keep an upright position with the head and the neck. Eyes closed down, noticing the breath coming in through the nose and maybe feeling a little bit of movement of the breath in the shoulders and in the neck. Take one more breath. Release your hands from around your neck and just stack your hands right on top of your heart. And then just pause here for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Still trying to find that breath coming in through the nose, down through the throat. Keep the hands stacked on the heart. Take a nice deep breath in, but this time at the top of your breath or at the top of the inhalation, can you retain your breath for a moment? And then when you feel ready to, without having to like gasp or like let the air out, just slow and controlled, exhale nice and easy. Inhale a nice full breath and you'll retain the breath at the top. Exhale nice and slow. One more breath like that. Inhale and then retain the breath at the top. When you're ready, exhale. On your next inhalation, lift your back up away from your seat so you're sitting up nice and tall, and then just come right back to your breath. Inhale through the nose. You'll retain the breath at the top. Exhale nice and slow, but then at the end of the exhale, can you retain your exhale for a moment? And then with ease, so you want to take your inhalation, you don't want to have to gasp for air. So you retain the exhale just long enough. And then when you're ready, inhale, retain the breath at the top. Exhale nice and slow, retain the breath at the exhale. And then just take about 3 to 5 more cycles of breath. Inhaling, nice deep breath, hold the breath at the top, exhale nice and slow, and then retain the exhale. One more cycle of breath. And then eyes opened or eyes closed, totally up to you, but we're just going to move right into the head and the neck. So keep your hands stacked on top of your heart as you inhale, lift your chin up just as much as feels good. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest, just as far as feels comfortable. Inhale to lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck down. Inhale, we're going to lift up and hold, feeling a little gentle stretch through the front of the neck and the throat. Take another inhale, but then as you exhale, tuck your chin down towards your chest. Stay there. Awesome. And then lift your head back to a neutral position. Keep your hands stacked on your heart. And then we're going to push gently into the chest and then draw some circles with the hands. So what we want to do is trap the skin, trap this connective tissue, and then just move that skin around on the chest and then just kind of tune in and notice. Does it feel soft and loose and supple, or does it feel tight? There's no right or wrong, but just notice. And if your circles are going in one particular direction and you like to do so, maybe reverse directions and go the other way. Lovely. One more circle around, and then we're going to release our fingertips to the shoulders and start with some small and gentle circles of the elbows. So just circle around in one direction. Keep those circles small and light. And then when you're ready, we're going to reverse directions and go the other way. Same thing going around this way, small, light circles, just finding a light bit of movement in the shoulders, but no need to go extreme. Beautiful. One more circle around, and then right hand is going to reach across and grab the left shoulder. And then you're just going to get a good handhold of that big round shoulder muscle. And you're just going to hold the muscle with a nice claw hand and just try to smush or wiggle the shoulder muscle around. So trying to keep the bone as stable as you can and just move the muscle. And then if you're going in one particular direction, go the other way. Lovely. And now we're going to move down the arm. So you're going to grab the bicep, grab the tricep, and you're just going to twist and turn down the arm. Make as much space for that arm. So if it's getting caught up in the breast tissue and in your armpit, just move your arm so that it works well for you. And we're going to grab and twist down towards the elbow joint and then grab and twist and move up towards the shoulder. Beautiful. And then the next time you come down towards that elbow joint, work it down into the forearm, grabbing the forearm muscle, moving it, twisting it in one direction, and then moving it the other way. Move down towards the wrist and then up towards the elbow. Cool. One more little grab and twist, and then we're going to switch over to the other side. So left hand's going to reach across the top of the shoulder. Keep your arm as stable as you can. Move the muscle around. If you're going in one particular direction and you like to do so, reverse directions, go the other way. Nice. And then start to move down the bicep, just grabbing the bicep, grabbing the tricep, twist and turn down towards the elbow, twist and turn up towards the shoulder. And then you just rearrange your arms so you can move comfortably and freely. Awesome. And then when you're ready, move down to the forearm. Nice. One more up and down there. And then we're going to lift up, release, give your fingers a little twinkle, make sure they feel okay. And then we're going to take our fingertips and tuck them into our armpits. So we're going to tuck the backs of our hands into the armpit and then let your elbows drop down. And then just take a second to sit up nice and tall. You'll hopefully feel a little tender stretch in the wrist. Make sure it's not too much. And once you've got a good sensation, things are feeling good, close your eyes down. Just notice your wrist, notice your forearms, notice your breath. Take one more breath. When you're ready, you're going to lift the elbows up gently, open your arms nice and wide, bring the heart slightly forward and up, lift your chin. So we get this nice big opening through the front of the heart space, through the throat. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. One more nice big inhale, and then left hand's going to touch down to the chair, right hand's going to reach up alongside the ear. So reduce that back bend and then take it right into a side bend. Lean over to one side, and then once you hit the edge of that side bend, lift up and take it over to the other side. And we're going to get nice and fluid with that movement. So we're going to lift over, find the edge of it, and then lift right back over to the other side. And then you start to move at a pace and a depth that feels good to you. Beautiful. Now, the next time your left hand touches down, the right hand reaches up. Stay there. Find a depth of that work that feels good. Maybe even walk your feet a little bit further apart so the feet feel nice and solid. And we're going to do that round and reach. So you're going to take that top hand, round and reach like you're reaching for something across the room, and then pull the thumb back, rotate just a little bit, turn your head, look up towards the sky. And then do that again, round and reach. Get a little bit of action through the side of the body, notice the ribs, and then pull that thumb back, rotate just a little bit, look up towards the sky. Do that one more time, round and reach. Draw it back, find that little bit of rotation, then we're going to lift up and over, take it over to the other side. Find your side bend. Beautiful, and then do that round and reach. Reach across the room. Pull the thumb back, look up towards the ceiling. Round and reach. Pull the thumb back, look up towards the sky. One more time, round and reach. Pull the thumb back, look up towards the sky, and then release into a nice neutral position. If you walked your feet wider, maybe walk them in. Take a nice big breath, both arms up and overhead. Exhale, dive the heart forward, reach down towards the feet. Does not matter if you touch the feet, but just take a gentle fold and then take a second to tune in. Notice how your back feels. Notice how your butt feels. Notice how your feet feel. And we're going to roll up through the spine. So think about drawing the ribs back up towards the ceiling, and then with strength and control, roll all the way up. And now we're going to do the step, step, side saddle. So we're going to step, step so that we're sitting side saddle in our seat. And then once you've got that side saddle position, we're going to start by thinking about getting really super tall here. So think about lifting the ribs up, think about the shoulders lifting up, almost as if you're trying to levitate in your chair. So think of that idea of getting so light and lifted up. And then once you feel like I couldn't possibly get any lighter, then rotate towards the back of the chair, but keep lifting upward as you rotate towards the back of the chair. And then as you rotate towards the back of the chair, once you've found the edge of your twist, still think about that levitation, lifting the ribs upward, lifting through the top of your head. One more moment with that upward lifting sensation, then stay in that twisted position, but let everything sink and settle. Nice. And then when you're ready, unwind your rotation. We're going to step through center and we're going to step across to the other side. So take your time, swish your butt around, find that side saddle seat first, and then find that levitation, like you're trying to lift your entire torso up away from the chair. So nice floating upward idea. And then once you feel like, okay, I've got that, I'm floating upward, rotate towards the back of the chair, keep lifting upward. One more upward lift, and then when you're ready, let everything sink and settle. And then once you've sunk and settled, unwind your rotation, step back through the front of your chair, and then come into some nice generous windshield wipers. Just scoot your butt as far forward as you can. And then this just all varies to what kind of surface you have on your chair. So my chair is solid and I can slide my yoga pants on my chair, but if you have a chair with texture, little variations might apply here. All right, one more little swish of those knees side to side, and then just find a nice anchored seat. So butt is solid on the chair, feet nice and solid on the ground. Let your hands just rest for a moment. Come to that nice, tall, neutral spine. So no big amount of efforting here, but just notice your shoulders, notice your hands, notice your feet connected to the floor. Keeping your eyes closed if you can. We're going to start with a light little march. So one leg is going to pick up just a little bit and then the other. So we're going to alternate between the two, inviting just a little bit of heat into the legs, maybe finding that good work happening in the hip flexor muscles, but staying tall, but not an efforted tall. So you're sitting up tall, but it should feel pretty easy breezy. One more little march of each foot. And then as you set your feet down, we're going to go ahead and grab the back of the left leg. Pick the left leg up, let your hands do most of the heavy lifting here just for a moment. Take that leg, draw it in a couple of circles, one direction. Take that leg, draw it in a couple of circles, go the other way. Super. And then we're going to floss the hamstring muscle. I'm just going to turn sideways just so we make sure we know what's going on. But as you kick the foot forward, you're going to flex the foot, lift your chin. And then as you lower down, you're going to let the foot lower down and then tuck your chin slightly towards your chest. Lift your foot, flex your foot, lift your chin. Lower your foot and tuck your chin slightly. Awesome. Lift your foot, flex your foot, lift your chin. Lower your foot, tuck your chin. Two more to go. Lift your foot, flex your foot, lift your chin. Lower your foot, nice and controlled. Beautiful. One more time through, lifting up. Lowering down, and then find a neutral position. We're going to let that leg go nice and long. So set that foot out in front of you, micro bend the knee, flex the foot, take a nice big breath. So think up and over, reaching upward, levitate through the top part of the body, and then reach towards your foot. Does not matter if you can touch your foot. You're just going to reach forward as far as feels good. Find a little sensation, maybe in the hamstring muscles, back of the leg. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then just slide everything up, back and in, and we're going to re-grab the other leg. So pick up that leg, let the arms do the heavy lifting, draw that leg in circles, go in one direction. Nice. Draw that leg in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And now we're going to floss the back of this leg. So get that handhold, kick the foot forward, lift your chin, lower your foot, tuck your chin towards your chest. Lift the foot, lift your chin, lower your foot and tuck your chin. Lift your foot, lift your chin, lower it back down. Two more to go. Just take it at your pace. Beautiful. And then on this last one, when you find that neutral position, send the leg nice and long, a little flex in the foot, a little micro bend in the knees, reach up, think up, 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 upward lifting. And then as you find the edge of your upward lifting, reach toward your foot. Doesn't matter if you can touch your foot, but just find a little stretch through the back of the leg. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully slide everything back in. We're going to take our yoga block. We're going to put our yoga block at the tallest setting. So place the yoga block just sort of evenly spaced between your legs. And then we're going to lean in just a little bit so we can start by finding a slight engagement. So we're going to lean forward just so that we can put a little bit of body weight into the hands and then come back to that light marching, but just feel that little pressure, almost as if you're sort of marching through molasses or something, right? So it's going to create that little bit of resistance and kind of notice. All right, now lean off of that, let your hands come away. And now we're going to alternate. One foot's going to hop over the block and then the other foot's going to hop over the block. If that high setting of the block feels like it's a little much, set it down to the lowest setting. But if it feels okay to be on that tall setting, we want to challenge those hip flexor muscles, get a little bit of heat, especially as we get into those winter months and we tend to sit curled up in our blanket and do a lot of seated positions. So we also want to invite some strength back into those hip flexors, even if we sit. Beautiful. One more hop over each way. And then step your feet so that they're slightly wide. Scoot your butt around so that it feels like it's in a really good, comfortable position. We're going to reach the arms up and overhead. Grab an imaginary beach ball. We're going to keep long through the spine. So think hip hinge. We're going to reach forward and then see if you can reach out just long enough so you feel the strength in your back muscles. And then we're going to float the hands down. So hands are going to find the block. I'm going to turn my block sideways. That feels nice to me. You do what feels right to you. And then once you've found your block, you're going to soften. So just let your heart soften just a little bit. Let the block support you. Soften the back of your neck. Take one more breath. Think about finding that engagement through the muscles in the back of the body. So think about pulling your belly button in firm, lift your hands away from the block, but still in that folded position. So we find that strength, and then see if you can lift your arms up alongside your ears. Keep that strong back of the body, lift up nice and slow and controlled. Beautiful. And then toe heel your feet in, float your arms down, find your seated mountain pose. I'm going to move my block out of the way, but you do what feels right to you. Find your seated mountain pose. Once you're there, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches to the sky. Release that hand down. We slide up the shin, bring the knee to the chest, bring your nose to your knee. Take one long breath here. Beautiful. When you're ready, release that foot down with control. Find your mountain pose again. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches up. Release that hand down, slide up the shin, bring the knee to the chest, nose to knee, and then stay there for an extra cycle of breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully release that foot down. We're going to grab our yoga block. We're going to place it low setting now, and we're going to set it long ways so that the length of the foot can be on the block. But now we're going to scooch our foot around so that the 4 small toes, or however many small toes you have, 4 small toes are on the block, but the big toe is off of the block. So we're going to let the big toe be off of the edge of the block. Now here's just for today, if it helps you do it, place your fingers on those 4 toes. Keep those 4 toes planted on your block, and you're just going to start to move the big toe. Move the big toe up, move the big toe down with as much movement as you can find. If it doesn't help to hold those big or the 4 toes down, leave that part off. Or if you have really great control and you don't need that little extra little bit of support, then you can leave that off as well. But if you can find the work here, holding those 4 toes in place, big toes moving up and down just as much as you can. Awesome. One more up and down. And then when you're ready, lift up, release, and especially if you're in that folded position, and we're just going to see if we can curl the toes under just to get a nice, so I'm put the big toe onto the block, and then I'm just letting the curls gently curl under just enough so you can feel a little stretch to the tops of the toes, a little stretch to the top of the foot, but no need to be extreme. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then lift that foot off and give it a little twinkle. And then we're going to scooch the block over to the other side so we can work the other foot. So place your 4 toes on, big toe so it's at the edge. Once you found your way there, if that helped to hold those 4 toes in place, then that's the work that you're going to do. You're going to let your hand hold those 4 toes in place and then find the work here. Big toe lifts up as much as it can and lowers down as much as it can. And try to keep the 4 toes as stationary as you can. The assist of the fingers is awesome work. You're still going to engage all those muscles in the same way. Beautiful. One more up and down. And then when you're ready, lift yourself up and off, give your foot a little twinkle, maybe give your fingers a little twinkle if they were working hard too. And then see if you can just touch the big toe to the block, curl the toes under just slightly so you feel that stretch to the tops of the toes, top of the foot. Awesome. And then when you're ready with control, release that off. And now we're going to put the block so that it's in the middle and you'll decide the height of the block. So you'll just know, but we're going to toe heel the feet out as wide as you can. And then we're going to fold down. So you're going to touch the block. So if you think it's going to be better to have that taller setting, get yourself set up and then come to your fold. So walk your feet out nice and wide, hinge from your waist. We're going to take this into a little twist. So one hand is going to be on the block or on the floor. And then we're going to lift and rotate the other hand. So rotate up towards the sky. Keep your legs as solid as you can. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release. And we're going to take that rotation to the other side. So hand on the block or on the floor. That's totally up to you. Other hand lifts up, keep your legs solid and try to find a little bit more rotation coming out of the ribs. Nice. One more breath. As we unwind that rotation, bring your hands to the inner thighs or to that edge of the knees and the inner thighs meet. And then we're just going to lengthen out through the spine and take it into some more dynamic twists. So one shoulder is going to pull forward and then the other, and just find a nice fluid motion here. And then if you like that breath work, you'll exhale as you twist. Cool. Now, the next time your left shoulder comes forward, so you're pushing out into that left knee, left shoulder's forward. Now you're going to anchor your left arm and try to push. So your arm's going to create a resistance and you're going to try to push your knee into your hand. So we've got this wide position. It's going to kick on those inner thigh muscles. Hand is going to resist. Knee is pushing in. See if you can hold that sensation for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften that up, switch over to the other side. So the hand pushes into the inner thigh and the knee. You only go as far as you feel strong. So that's where we're shooting to find. Once you've found that little bit of resistance, knee pushing in, arm pushing out, hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Toe heel your feet and take your time as you walk it in. Grab your block. We're going to place the block between the knees at the skinniest setting. So you're going to place your block in. I say the skinniest setting, but if you have a broader hip structure, the medium setting might feel just a little bit better to you. So you'll play around with what feels right. I like the medium setting. Once you found your way there, we're going to alternate. One heel is going to lift out to the side and then the other. We want to see if we can find the muscle action coming out of the side of our butt. So if it helps you find it, place your hand on the side of your butt. And then as you kick that foot out, and I'm going to turn sideways just to make sure that what we're doing looks clear. My knees stay connected to the yoga block. There's a little bit of a squeeze. And then I lift that foot out to the side with control. Nice. Now, the next time that left leg lifts and out to the side, hold it there. See if you can hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down, switch over to the other side. Lift it, hold it out there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, switch over to the other side. Now we're going to lift, hold, and then we're going to add a little pulse. So you're going to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Release, switch over to the other side, lift it out, and then pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Release that foot down, grab your block. Woo! Shake out those legs. We're going to cross our legs just like that. If that is not a comfortable position and you like a little support, use your yoga block so that you can put your foot on and it doesn't create too much pressure. Readjust anything that you need to. But once you've found a crisscross of the legs that feels the most reasonable to you, you're going to lean your heart forward just enough that it feels good. Take one big breath. Beautiful. Lift up slow and controlled. Uncross your legs. Reset your block if you like that little bit of support, but then cross your leg over the other side. So just the regular old-fashioned lady style crisscross your legs. Once you've got that going on, lean your heart forward just as much as feels good, and then pause there and take a breath. Beautiful. Come up nice and slow and controlled. Uncross your legs, swish or wiggle out anything that needs a little extra. That may have made a little bit of squeeze in the inner thigh and the groin. So we just kind of, once we've got that lymphatic fluid kind of smushed into places, now we want to sort of move it around just a little bit. All right, now scoot your butt back just so that you feel like your butt is nice and solid on the chair, and come into some tick-tocks of the head, just rocking the head a little side to side. One more little rock of the head side to side, and then head's going to come to neutral. We're going to grab the thumb. So we're going to make one hand is just going to wrap around the thumb, and you're going to pull the thumb gently, just gently, so it feels like a nice sensation. There's a little bit of pressure, a little bit of squeeze, and a little bit of pull. Once you've got that going on, come back to that tick-tock of the head side to side. Beautiful. One more little tick-tock of the head side to side. Head's going to come to a neutral position, and then like you're trying to crank a handle. So, but like really small micro movements. So you're just going to give a light little bit of rotational movement to that thumb. Mostly we're moving the skin and the connective tissue, not the bone of the thumb. All right, one more little squeeze and twist, and then when you're ready, you're going to re-grab the other thumb. A little bit of squeeze, a little bit of pull. Once you've got that little bit of pull, come back to the tick-tock of your head. One more tick-tock of the head, and then as your head comes back to center, now you're just going to do that light little twist and turn. So it's not a big movement, and really, if you can, find it so that you feel the skin move just a little bit and maybe the muscle move just a little bit. Awesome. One more little twist and turn. And then when you're ready, just give your fingers a little twinkle, give your hands a little shake. Let that shake come up into your shoulders. Let that shake find its way into your ribs. And then once you feel like you've got that whole torso shaken, maybe take it into one leg. And then maybe you take it into the other leg. And then maybe just shake your whole butt, feel the solidness over the chair underneath your bum. And then when you're ready, let everything come to stillness. Let your back settle back into your chair. Close your eyes down. Just take a nice big breath. Notice your hands. Notice your feet. Make any little adjustments so that your body feels like it's in a nice, secure, happy position that it can relax into just a little bit. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, or if your day requires it, start to gently reawaken just a little bit. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your wrists, move your ankles. And then once you feel like your limbs are slightly woken up, maybe you lift your back away from your chair, come to a slightly taller seat, feet are solid on the ground, butt is solid in the chair. And then keeping your eyes closed if you can. One hand is going to come to the front of the throat, one hand is going to come to the back of the throat. So we're going to gently wrap the hands around, but we're not doing a squeeze. So it's just a little bit of a gentle touch. And then take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. We're going to switch our hand position, but everything else will stay the same. So move the hand to the front, move the other hand to the back, a gentle touch. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Both hands are going to release to the back of the head, and we're going to do light piano fingers, and we're just going to gently tap the back of the head. You can tap all around anywhere that feels good. But once you've got that going on, just take a second to tune in and notice your head posture. So if doing all of that made you round just a little bit, see how tall can you sit without losing that contact of tapping the back of your head. And then take that tapping around to the side of the head, around the temples, around the ears. And then take that tapping up to the crown of the head and just move all around the top of the head. One more little tap around, and then we're going to take our index fingers and draw them into little hooks. And we're going to take our little hooks right to the space between the eyebrows. So think of that 11 point where we get those little creases of our thinking. And then put your hooks into that space. Push in, drag out towards the temples. And then once you hit the temples, you're going to lift up, release, come back to that center space. Use your hooks, press into the 11s, press in, drag out. Once you hit the temples, lift up, do that one more time. Bring it into the 11s, push in, drag out. And then once you've hit the edge of your temples, release your little hook fingers. And now we're just going to take those light little tapping fingers right around the hairline. So you're just going to tap, 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 tap gently around the hairline. Awesome. One more little tap, tap around. And then when you're ready, release your hands, stack them on top of the heart, close your eyes down, take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a whole bunch of love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up to the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday.